friends. Thanks, guys, for stopping in today. Appreciate you sitting down with me while we go ahead and talk about probably our most diverse and most powerful organ, the brain. It's kind of our best tool and worst critic. But before I really get ahead of myself, I think that I just want to preface this by saying that my scientific findings and the things that I'm sharing with you, take it as you would searching anything on the internet. I'm not a professional, and I would always advise speaking with a health professional if you want to find probably what the best course of action is for you and your brain health. Really, your brain it's the CEO of your body. When it benefits, everything else benefits. It's kind of the one time the whole trickle down economics thing actually works. So your brain processes from 5 different senses all at the same time, and it retains the information. And memory willing, it allows you to pull it up for later use. On top of that, it regulates your unconscious body functions, like your breathing and your heart rate. It triggers emotional and survival responses. And if your brain even comes with a steering wheel and no brakes, well, sometimes they have brakes, only if you choose to use it. So one thing that I really enjoyed taking from The Power of Now, written by Eckhart Tolle. He says, you are not your mind, and your mind is not you. And really, what he's talking about is the difference between your brain and its responses and your own personal choice. He also goes in depth on mindfulness. The differences between this up here and us. I'm actually going to share with you guys probably one of my favorite excerpts from the book. So they kind of do like a dialogue style, but anyways, they ask, what is the greatest obstacle to experiencing this reality? And he responded with, it's identification with your mind. This causes us to become compulsive. Not being able to stop thinking is a dreadful affliction. But we don't realize this because almost everybody is suffering from it. So it's considered normal. The incessant mental noise prevents you from finding that realm of inner stillness that is inseparable from being. It also creates a false mind, made self that casts a shadow of fear and suffering. And once we declare that we are the driver of this mental mass that operates at Lamborghini speeds, yes, your electrical impulses do travel at 120 miles per second. Or 193 kilometers per second for my metric friends. Why don't we jump into this bad boy and let's take a look and see how it works and how to take care of it. So let's define good brain health. Good brain health is basically a state in which every individual can realize their abilities and optimize their cognitive, emotional, psychological, and even behavioral functioning to cope with our life situations. Part of this regulation is of our neurochemicals. They help the brain synapses fire with appropriate timing based on responses to stimuli and other things of maybe even self-preservation. But just remember, don't shoot the messenger. He's kind of important around here. So let's talk about dopamine. Dopamine is our neurochemical that leads to excitement or joy. It's actually a chemical that is released in anticipation to happiness. When we start working towards achieving our goals, that's often when we get a surplus of it. We can experience the effects of dopamine when we, achieve any goal in our day-to-day lives. But currently, our dopamine pathways are not readily available. They're not being activated when we don't know what to expect day to day. For instance, if we don't know when we will be working, or if we can't get food or supplies easily that we need, we tend to have a deficiency. So today is the first day to making the right steps towards a goal. What can we do? We can schedule daily activities to look forward to. We can plan timed activities with a goal to beat the clock, or play competitive games with friends and family. You can even change your diet by eating foods rich in tyrosine, such as eggs, chicken, almonds, and bananas. And make sure you use a checklist. Having a sense of achievement when getting these items completed will give you a boost of dopamine. And you can plan these fun day/activities to do with chores or after your jobs are completed. And even plan future events and holidays so that you can, take some time to calm down and just enjoy. And then let's talk about oxytocin. So oxytocin, it's the love hormone. It encourages us to form strong bonds with people around us in order to have social support. It is released when we're in situations that build trust and moments of physical affection. Now, without oxytocin, we become tempted to bond with threats when there are no other options. For instance, this really happens in a lot of abusive relationships. People will continue to experience trust and closeness towards those who threaten them. Unfortunately, they feel like they have a limited choice. So what can we do? To increase oxytocin, we can increase physical affection. Lots of cuddles, massages, snuggling on the couch. You can have contact with friends and family online using platforms such as FaceTime, Skype, or Zoom. You can record videos to send to your family and friends of various activities. Doing a dance, telling a joke, writing letters and making cards to give to your friends and family. Or playing virtual games with friends. It's really important to plan activities that help benefit yourself, the community, or friends and family. Really, that's going to be your biggest releasers of oxytocin. So let's talk about endorphins. Endorphins are released in response to actual or anticipated pain. This ensured survival is kind of masked. It allows us to mask the pain so that we have an opportunity to run for our lives. Endorphins are usually responsible for the rush and high we feel after exercise. So what can we do to release endorphin more? Certain things, like don't get yourself in life-threatening situations. Never advise that. But, laughter. Laughter actually triggers the joy of endorphin. Make sure you sweat at least once or twice a day. Go for a walk, a run, or a bike ride. Make use of home workout equipment such as treadmills or stationary bikes. You can even play sports in the background or in an isolated area. You can also use apps or online videos of yoga, cardio, and other classes. So next, let's talk about serotonin. Serotonin is released when we feel respected or appreciated. It's our brain's chemical for reward in strong or assertive behavior as well. And this chemical is also used to regulate our mood and well-being. It helps us actually get decent sleep at night. So a couple things we can do to improve our serotonin. You can eat foods with tryptophan. This aids in the production of serotonin. This can include poultry, spinach, nuts and seeds, salmon, even soy milk. A couple other things you can do is you can spend one-on-one time with your child. You can give out family leadership roles, such as like being in charge of what game to play or choosing a movie. And even acknowledging what your family members have been doing well or right. That little compliment can really go a long way some days. So you can also provide praise and compliments again and again. It's the easiest way to boost some serotonin levels. You can also talk about positive things that people saw or what other family members are doing. And ensure that your meals and your snacks are routinely provided. Routine is very important when it comes to neurochemical release. Now, next, guys, we need to talk about what's the kryptonite to the brain? Well, it's stress. Stress is pretty much poison for your body. It is a reason for a lot of health issues. It makes you kind of foggy, makes you really groggy, makes you unmotivated. A lot of things that you're not really trying to be most of the time, So, what are some things we can do to help manage this stress? One of the most important things is know thyself. What kind of brain do you have? How does it influence your personality? It's just about knowing this will help you better understand a lot about your self-worth and your identity and how you commingle in relationships. So, like, for example, you don't like to leave things unfinished, or you don't like to spend too much time on details because they bore you. Really having a good balance of both is the best way to try and develop both sides of the brain and personality. Another thing you can do, again, avoid stress. It's poison for the brain. It literally is. Psychiatrist Milton Erickson used to say, if you meet someone who makes you feel bad about yourself, run. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to tolerate unpleasant people or unpleasant situations for the sake of children, career, etc. We're basically choosing to sacrifice our happiness for a long-term goal, a uniquely human capacity goal. So, what do we have to do? We have to learn to manage our painful feelings and accept some changes in ourself and our worldview. So the next thing you can do is you can meditate. Meditation is a powerful brain booster. Usually you want to start with like 5 to 10 minutes of mind training, basically to get yourself just kind of still and empty. And be sure to build up to anywhere from 30 minutes to 120 every day as you can master the art. I know that's a big time sink, but I've heard really good things about meditation. I am currently only at like 5-10 minutes max. But we have to remember to be patient with ourselves, as the induction process it's often slow. So, and moving on, the next best thing for you to do is to sleep. Sleeping about 7 to 8 hours a night is usually essential for stimulating new connections and brain growth. Be sure to identify and address all of your obstacles to your sleep, including any, overactive thought patterns, physical tension, or even undiagnosed sleep apnea. Then be sure to practice some mindfulness. Stop at regular periods throughout your day and mentally check in with yourself. Notice any tension or preoccupations. Don't judge or analyze. Just notice. Is it something you can change now? So why not shelve it until later? Don't waste your worry. And then when you do worry, practice self-soothing. Use brain smart techniques such as bilateral stimulation to kind of short-circuit the worry and stress. Stop for a moment and take a deep breath every now and then and notice how it feels. Direct your attention to soothing elements in your life and in your environment. Sometimes you literally just need to stop and smell the roses. So after stress, let's talk about mental stimulation. Because it's just like flexing a muscle. So it's really important that we take the time to learn. Learning stimulates a variety of things, that can be unrelated to what you normally do. And variety is key when it comes to learning. And that may be meeting new people, learning a new skill, learn to dance, take up drawing, or even knitting. Then make sure you step outside of your comfort zone. This is tremendous for your brain. Doing something that stretches you and makes you somewhat uncomfortable, just travel. Vary your routine. If you're a very goal-oriented person, try doing something for the heck of it. Just because. Then make sure that with your brain, just like your muscles, use it or lose it, baby. make sure you exercise your mental abilities to keep them strong. For example, if you think creatively, you'll strengthen the connections that you draw upon for creative thought. So you can also mix it up a bit and become ambidextrous. What a word to say. Make sure to use your non-dominant hand to do everything that you can. Eat with it, draw with it, brush your hair, whatever. Give it a go. Avoid boredom. Boredom is it's the enemy of an active and growing brain. Really, the best way to avoid boredom is to develop an attitude of curiosity and just work on your attention. And guys, this video I kind of just tossed together because I was focusing on making my intro this week. And I've also just been kind of rough this week, so I had some emotions get the better of me. And thank you guys for staying a part of this. I really do appreciate it. And I do want to show not just, hey, this is all the learning, this is all the information. There is some real stuff to this. And it's really resonating in my life. And I'm really hoping that it'll resonate in yours. Being able to take care of us and our brains. I don't want to wait till the end of my life to find out it was important. So, thank you again, guys, for being a part of my process. I really do hope to be a part of yours. And I'm just here today because I'm hoping to see you tomorrow. See you next time.